Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
What's up and what's going on? Salute to everyone. Salute to everyone in the building. I am tired, as I quite often am. I had to run up some stairs before I made it down here, but I am here. You are here. Glad you're here. Let me get some water. That wasn't right. That was, yeah, I'm not going to say what was in here. It's not completely water. But shout out to everybody in the building. Salute and peace to everyone. So glad you could be here. Let me fix a couple things as I get this going. Shout out to everybody in here. Truism in the building. Shout out to you. Salute. I don't know what that says. Face turquoise covering eyes. Don't know what the hell that means or what the hell you're talking about. But he said, it's time for the 5D strategy, bro. Definitely. I think that's supposed to be dodge daggles. Damn it. Do it. Face fushi fakisha tongue. Okay. Dude, I need anglais. Anglais, por favor. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Dark Knight Mentality in the building says BR in the building. Well, not yet, but he's coming. Absolutely. You know, I'm always late, as Jack Pilati says. The Mac the Trucker in the building says, what's good, brother Bernard? I'm definitely enjoying the pre-records. That top 10 list you made was good stuff. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was definitely glad you like it. There's going to be a lot of that going on. I'm going to keep spamming the algo with those until they really take off. I'm willing to just put in the work until them things take off. So that is what it is. Those will be coming. Appreciate y'all support and watching those. But he says, the Mac the Trucker, he says water mixed with Hennessy. No, I don't drink soda no more, but I had some yesterday for the first time in a while. And so I finished drinking the soda, but I was just a little bit left in there with the ice and then that melt. But I thought it was, because I don't drink soda, I thought it was just water in my bottle. So when I poured water in there today, I was like, oh, it's a little bit of water left in there from when I was last drinking water. But no, it was still that little bit of soda in there. So I'm drinking like, water with just like a splash of Mountain Dew, and it tastes really weird. It tastes really weird. So that was why I took that sip and was like, yeah. So it's off. But no, Pablo, you absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That Michigan water is suspect. I live 30 minutes from Flint, and it's messed up that I don't even know what the current status of Flint is right now. I ride through. I kind of ride through Flint, but I don't stop there. I don't know if they water's still messed up. I have no idea. I have no idea whatsoever. but yeah, as soon as that Flint water, because I put it like this, I used to drink tap water my whole life. I didn't even believe in bottled water. It wasn't until that Flint water got messed up that I was like, okay, yeah, I gotta get on this bottled water game, because I was staunch down. Like, fuck that. They not about to make me pay for water that they're putting in a bottle. To me, that's the only difference. As far as I'm concerned, they ran this shit from the water hose outside. That's what I used to say. That's what I used to think. But once they start polluting the water that we bathe with, that what used to be our drinking water, once that started happening, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. So yeah, I'm had to convert over to bottled water. But let's get into this thing. Got a few things we're going to get into. We're going to talk about the main topics here that we're going to talk about today is how black women would defend anything, because there's two major stories of some indefensible shit that took place. One of it is I covered it with the Kurt Franklin thing. I dropped that this morning, and lo and behold, there's a comment section. Of course, there's a comment section where black women are defending Kurt Franklin's mom. And then another thing that dropped that I got to just go on and play this right now. I'm not even about to get all the way into it right now. I'm going to save it for y'all. But if you saw my videos, if you're watching my pre-records and you watch my shorts, you already saw this shit here with Krishan Rock. Let me start it over. Give me a second. Where's the best way to show? Okay, there it is. Yeah, working on my how to display it game. All right, this shit here. Now, I said in my pre-record, this baby is in an everyday struggle, fight for his life, being raised by Krishan Rock. Is like fucking Fear Factor for babies. The amount of excuses that I saw coming from the chat room, like even right in my own chat room, not just let alone I'm gonna show y'all some of the comments from the actual post of this. When someone like the shade room, they was defending it. We don't know what she's going through. We don't know her struggle. We don't know. She's a single mother. They doing all of that shit. Like, you already know that that's going on heavy. And somebody came in my comment section and they was like, well, for all you know, she got postpartum depression. That could be postpartum depression. I'm like, okay, was she behaving like a responsible person prior to the baby? Was she just a perfectly mentally healthy, stable, law-abiding citizen prior to the baby? And then all of a sudden the baby came and then we start seeing this behavior? Then maybe you can maybe make a case. If she was a perfectly healthy, well-adjusted individual, the baby came and then now this stuff started, and that all of a sudden started happening. But everything about her life that we knew and understood about her leading up to her being a horrible parent, like, she's a horrible parent because she's a horrible person. and they're using the postpartum defense. Well, what was it prepartum depression when she was out fighting in the streets? Was like when she getting involved in those, as I call them, those we flying titties out battle royals. You know, was that prepartum depression, preconception depression? Like, what was it then? Right, Trina B. She could afford to hire a nanny. We're gonna play a video of her giving the single mother defense. I'm a single mother. I'm like, no, you're not. Yo, the baby daddy still in your life. Y'all rich. Y'all got a support system. Y'all got family members. You could hire a nanny. You got everything you need to not be stressed out. You don't work a regular job. But nah, they gonna ride with this shit. But I'm gonna get into that more because the main thing I want to showcase, I already did content on this, but I do want to showcase that the comments. I do want to showcase the comment section. That's what I'm going to focus on. That's what I'm going to focus on with the whole Kirk Franklin thing and how black women are in the comment sections making excuses for everything. We got to get into that. But that was just a teaser trailer. But enough of that teaser trailer. There's a few other things that we're going to touch on. I do want to just give my my thoughts. I've only did one piece of content on the Jeezy Jenny my situation because it is, you know, I'm still like whatever on that.
Loved black guys. White
little things are leaking out to where it's like we can kind of speculate. My fault. I'm trying to pause that. Where we can speculate what's maybe going on. But it's a lot of we don't know kind of shit. And then I just didn't feel like covering it like crazy. But this shit was funny. I had never seen this video until I started doing some content. So this was funny as hell. So this is definitely worth talking about briefly. So I'm gonna play this video. And I gotta give some commentary on the whole thing, the whole notion that how there's a such thing as a fair warning that brothers need to be aware of, because there's a certain percentage of women that more or less fetishize. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Fetishizes. I don't know if I'm saying it right. They view black men as a fetish. See, I had to change the word. They view black men as a fetish. But if you get emotionally wrapped up and entangled and put your feelings in there, but she really doesn't want you. I'm going to get into how men don't give a fuck about being fetishized, but you don't commit long term to a chick that has that type of, dark meat fetish, a BBC fetish, or whatever it is. You don't commit to that long term. It's a difference between somebody who, just happen to be attracted to black men, but they view all people, they've dated all races, and the one that she, just happens to build a life with is a guy that happened to be black, and they happen to love each other, and they have a good, healthy relationship. That obviously happens. We obviously know that that's a thing. We obviously know and understand that. But then it's some where, you are just a fetish. And the Mac the Trucker know where I'm going, where I say, good, I'll be a fetish all day. You're goddamn right. and that's more or less where I'm at with it. That's more or less where I'm at with it. Dolomite says Jenny couldn't handle her chameleon front up too long with Lonnie Love in her ear. Woo! Interesting. Let me go and play this shit.
You dated black guys. Loved black guys. Yeah. I did. But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. That's why I married white man. That's what I like.
Hold up. What do you mean dark meat on the side?
Because she lightweight offensive.
I'm not. I'm saying I really do think black men are attractive. I do. That's my...
Well, what do you mean dark meat on the side?
That means, honey. You know what that means.
Wait, what are you reading it as?
Ain't nobody. How did you say it?
I'm just saying, like, when I think about men, I like dark men. I do.
Right, you like your main man to be white and your side piece
No.
All right. What I'll say about that, and I'm gonna get to that part too real briefly, Freeman's Journal, because that is significant, and that is how we could possibly be charging her up. We could possibly be charging her up because, you know, she did marry and have a kid with a black man. So, but, you know, that aside, one thing I know for a fact, when I was out there, when I was single out there and on Tinder, I messed with a lot of white girls on Tinder. And they more or less said they had a thing for black men. You know, if I was a fetish, God damn it, I was a fetish. Is what it is. Now, what happened, because, you know, back in 2014, I ain't on Facebook now. I mean, I got a Facebook page, but I ain't visited it in a long time. But the way that plays out, when, you know, you meet somebody on Tinder or a dating app, y'all match, y'all got to change numbers and stuff. The way Facebook work, they normally send you a friend request, suggestion of the person who you texting. They normally do it that way. So, you know, you end up, you know, being friends on Facebook with some of these chicks. So, you know, long after y'all done stopped messing with each other, you get to see how their life plays out, you know, 5 years later. 5 years later, a not insignificant number of the white women that I met and messed with, had sex with, met on dating apps, they a lot of them got married. One of them did get married to a black man. A lot of them got married to white men. But a lot of them had strong fetish for black men. And it's like, that's not nothing that we gonna cry in the shower about. That they view us as sexual jump offs. But it does turn into a whole situation when if you get wrapped up and entangled and get your feelings all deep into that. Now, to what Freeman's Journal is saying, everybody is running with that narrative on her, where it is true that it applies to a lot of women, but I don't know if it applies to the woman that actually married and had a baby by one, unless she just wanted a brown, a brownish, half Asian, half black, beautiful baby. Because those, you know, those do be some, them do be some pretty babies. We do know that. Black and Asian do make pretty babies and pretty women. Can't speak on the men. Half black, half Asian men look weird to me, but the women be bad as hell. But either way, got a fetish for fried chicken. Okay, that's just weird. KG is hitting it on the head. He said black women fetishize us too. Yes, they do. They absolutely do. But shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to car designer Chris in the building.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want.
Shout out to you. Do appreciate that. He says those black women can't defend. I can't see that because the video. Y'all can't see what's on my screen, but this shit is in the way. So I got to make a quick adjustment. Boom. All right, now I can see. Oh, perfect. All right. So those black women can't defend those police cam videos I sent you. Oh, I forgot about those. I watched them. I can't even remember what I watched. It was a while ago. But I think you sent me some videos of some police cam. Yeah, my bad. I be terrible. I be terrible at watching stuff when I like, yeah, send it to me. I end up not watching it. But I do believe I watched those. I can't remember them. But no, I might want to. No, I ain't doing no police cam content right now. But no, shout out to y'all. Shout out to car designer Chris. Shout out to Captain Cisco. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate everyone's support. But the Mac Trucker saying she wanted a mixed baby with curly hair. Probably true. Probably true. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? But I hesitate to throw her forward in that category. But the writing is on the wall with a lot of shit. And, you know, if it's like leaking out that they had different, you know, idea of values and this or that, and then yeah, she could be fronting. She could be doing the thing. I even hate the term now, chameleon, because in a roundabout way they are kind of chameleons. But and I'm not even going to explain that right now. But she could be on that. She could be hell on wheels behind the scenes. She could be everything like what her mom was. If you understand the backstory with that, her mom was very contentious to her dad. So this could be just her dainty public persona. There's so many if, ands, and buts that we don't know. But one thing we do know, hey, the brother walked away. All right, that's one thing we do know. Now, the other thing that I got to get into before I dive into the main topic. Other thing I got to get into. I just came across this. Did y'all know that, and I don't even know if this is the right video. Did y'all know that Mrs. Zimbabwe is a full-blooded white girl? That ain't the exact video I wanted to show. Hold on. This is some funny shit. They crowned this African queen. She is white and blonde as ever. She is as white and blonde as they could ever possibly come. This is some funny shit. I'm gonna show y'all. This is where we at? Hold on, that ain't the one. I apologize. I'm trying to pull this up for you. Yes, he says the best African queen is a Becky. That is true. A white girl is Miss Zimbabwe. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Is this the right one? Yes. Yeah, I got to take a look at this shit. Let me get this right for you. That ain't how I want that to look. Oh, yes, I do. Hold on. I apologize. I don't got my buttons together. All right, do we got it right now? That's right enough. All right, no, that's perfect. All right. Hold on, let me skip. That's copyrighted African music. We don't need that. All right, they doing like a little Coming to America. See, this is a damn African beauty pageant. They doing a Coming to America type of opening ceremony dance. This is through and through 100% an African event. Look at it. Can't get more African than that. This is fucking Wakanda. This is fucking Wakanda. A Wakandan beauty pageant. They let a blonde, blue-eyed white girl. Zimbabwe got a 1% white population. And they didn't let a blonde, blue-eyed white girl born in Zimbabwe become Miss Zimbabwe. And she went on to become Miss Universe, if I'm not mistaken. I got the facts wrong on that. I know she was Miss Zimbabwe. She may have won the whole total competition. But I know she won Miss Zimbabwe. Let me skip a few more.
From the city of Harare.
Right? Look at these beautiful black queens. Look at them. Oh my goodness. Oh, the beauty. See some more. There she go. That's Mrs. Zimbabwe. I started choking. That is Miss Zimbabwe. She's your... I can't sing that high, but I was about to sing She's Your Queen to Be. I was about to do it. But I forgot I can't sing that high. I can sing a little bit, but I can't hit them notes. But yeah. Is this your queen? How do you let this happen? I'm quite sure if you had talked to anybody that was on the committee, they would talk about the colonialism, how the colonizers came in and took all their natural resources and grape the land and the resources of Africa, and now we're subjugated in our homeland. They would give all that rhetoric, but this Zimbabwe beauty pageant, you scan the room, you don't see a white cameraman, a white technician, a white judge, a white anybody. These are all 100% Africans. Kunta Kinte's, cousins. These are all 100% pure Africans. A white girl showed up with blonde hair, blue eyes, rosy red lipstick, and a smile. And they said, she is our queen. We nominate her to be the African Nubian goddess. Look at all them beautiful black queens right there. Got to sit there and act like they ain't mad. They got to put on their fake Miss America smile. They know they grinding their teeth together. Like this bitch. like this, if it was ever a time to do some mean girl shit and put some bleach on her dress in the back or something, like now's the time. Don't wait till now and forget how to be ratchet. No. Y'all gonna be sabotaging that bitch. Y'all supposed to just cut her hair off in the back and wear that shit as like an accessory on. But no, they didn't let this white woman win. White girl magic right here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's just watch this. Like these are awesome, beautiful women in a competition that it's not like they was like shooting 3-pointers and whoever made the most win. A beauty pageant, beauty isn't subjective, but when it comes to a beauty pageant where everybody there is beautiful and, and they got to ask stupid questions like, what would you do to foster world peace? There's no such thing as objectively picking the winner who was the best. There's no such thing as that. This is the most, subjective voting ever. Everybody is beautiful and nobody gives a shit who has a better plan for world peace. So this is hardcore, staunch down, 100% subjectives. And these Africans who put on this event, which is it's a classy event. Everything looks good and professional. They ain't out here clowning like the BET Awards. That blonde hair a little suspect, but they ain't out here clowning like the BET Awards. They're running this event in excellence. It looked nice. It's well presented. It's it was done well. and looked like black people were the only people who have had their hands on it. But they saw this blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl and said, we got to make her our queen. But it shouldn't be that much of a surprise. Seeing as the chick that's hosting the damn show got hair on her head trying to emulate their new queen. So it's not that much of a surprise that a white girl, joined the Miss Zimbabwe competition and won. When a lot of them left to their own devices, they try to look as white as possible. I could not find it, but there's images and videos on the internet. Whenever I'm not looking for them, I find them every time. Whenever I try to find them, I cannot find them. But if I get caught off guard, they always pop up of images of African brides where they do their makeup beforehand. Now there's a such thing as makeup that just makes you glow and shine, and in the process you look a little whiter. All right, that's a thing. I mean, not a little whiter, but just a little lighter. But then there's an extreme version of it where like, no, people are going from being damn near Rashida Strober, Lupita, somebody, a dark-skinned person, everybody know. They going from being Lupita's complexion with the makeup to Kerry Washington's complexion with the makeup. There's videos like that where these chicks be on some, I'm going to be like, look how goddamn African this thing is. Look how African this is. But them chicks, they be going from Lupita's complexion to Kerry Washington's complexion for their wedding. It's almost like they like, please, I want to be light-skinned on my wedding day. It's like, so it's not that much of a shock. But this white girl who is born, she was born there. She's a legit citizen. Full native. In all the traditional African garb. That's her right there to the left. In all the African garb. She playing along. She gonna put on this shit. She gonna say Harambe. What they say in Black Panther. Harambe. I can't think of what they say. What they be chanting? Shit, I can't think. I can't remember that chant. She gonna put on all the Wakanda clothes and do the chants and everything. She's from there. She might as well. And go take over and dunk on their damn competition. Somebody says she was a diversity hire. No, fuck that. Diversity hire my ass. She came, she saw, she conquered. She dunked on their ass. But shout out to who else we got in here? Shout out to Prince L. Lee N. Shout out to you. Code Steel in the building. Says at least pick a pog, not the ironing board type. Yeah, I mean, it would be even more funny if she showed up and had more ass than everybody. If she had more ass and fuller lips than everybody, that would have really been funny. Oh man, that would have been funny. But yeah, she fucking won that shit though. She fucking won that shit. Let me hold on, I'm gonna play the video of them crowning her. Well, hold on. That video I was just watching, if I skip to the end on that one, I probably can just find it. But it'd be hard to find the whole crowning part. Hold on. Before we move on, we got to see them. We got to see them put the crown on the white queen of Africa, of Zimbabwe, I should say. Nope, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it this way. But no, I couldn't believe this shit. It was just too funny. It was too fucking funny.
representing our fresh princess.
Man, I can't be the only one to think that's funny. That the damn African music playing in the background in the African pageant, Mrs. Zimbabwe pageant competition, and they putting the queen.
I'm expecting greater excitement from that.
They putting the crown on the damn blonde haired, blue eyed white girl. And see the crowns that they make, they probably just sit easier on black women hair, but that white woman hair is sliding off. That African crown is sliding off the white woman's head.
Take your water. Our queen, ladies and gentlemen, group contestant number 12.
All right. That was bizarre. That was bizarre. Game Changer is requesting the link. Here you go. Now, Game Changer, like I said, I see he's asking why is she fat. So what he's talking about, okay, I ain't gonna even go there. It was some of the chicks, the Nigerian chicks. I mean, not Nigerian. Some of the Zimbabweans. Are you talking about the one that was putting the crown on it, or are you talking about the ones in the competition that was a little on the thicker side? Was that what you was talking about? All right, mic check. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm talking about the one that was putting a crown on her.
Oh, okay.
The thing is that you can't have something like that on the stage with attractive women. You can't. Okay, say you take a handful of jelly beans. You can't have a black one in it. It will ruin the entire handful of jelly beans. You can't. It tastes like crap, and fat women look like crap. The fact that she's on stage diminishes the entire value of the stage, and it shames all of Zimbabwe. It shames all of Zimbabwe. You know what it's like? It's like going to the Olympics, right? And then you have like all of your best and brightest to represent your country. Let's just say in track or something, right? And then you have some fat ass Homer Simpson looking white boy just there with the Americans just there. Like, this is America. Look at his fat ass. That is what it makes us all look bad. It makes us all look bad, and it makes all of Zimbabwe look bad. I don't even want to go anymore. Like, when I seen that first chick in the green, I was like, ooh, maybe that's a place that passport bro should go. No. Why? Because they just revealed that the regular women are fat. That regular, like the non-stage worthy women are fat. That they walk around with crowns in their head and they give jobs to fat women. That is what they have just revealed about themselves.
So you're not gonna get too excited about seeing their best and brightest up there looking good if their average is fucked up.
Yes, exactly. See, here's the thing: men do not have access. Men like me, who's not the best and brightest, in any category, right? Like I wasn't valedictorian or anything like that in college. So that being the case, I know that just like I don't have access to the Miss America pageant winners, I don't have access to the Zimbabwean pageant winners. However, I do have access to the slightly above average in their bell curve. And unfortunately, so far, what I've seen is that the slightly above average look like fat crap. And I don't know, maybe the slightly above average there is beautiful, but don't put your bruised fruit, don't display your bruised fruit. You got apples with worms on it and shit, and you putting it in the store window. What kind of crap is that? They know people know very little about Zimbabwe. People know very little about Zimbabwe. And now the little that we know includes fat ass bitches. That is a problem.
Well, I don't ever hear about nobody, you know. I guess you just answered the question, but we don't never hear anybody talking about passport broing to Zimbabwe. Like they be talking about Uganda and Kenya and definitely like Ethiopia and stuff like that. Like I've, you know, yeah, you and the Ethiopian chicks, right? That's
I
the
do
thing.
like Ethiopian women. And the
Yeah.
reason why is because when they display Ethiopian women, they hide their fat bitches. I'm pretty sure that they exist, but I don't see them because they hide them. They don't let them come outside. Like, so, and rightly so. So that the representation of Eritrean women and Ethiopian women are that beautiful. They're those Kelly Stamps looking forehead chicks with the hentai Japanese hentai eyes and stuff like that, with the little bitty lips, but are still full. That is what I like, Bernard. That's what I like. But the reason why is because they do not know how to properly represent themselves. I'm not talking just Zimbabwe. I'm talking about all of West Africa. They don't know how to properly represent themselves because they want to be all inclusive. Nobody want to include fat ass bitches in anything they do. See, I used to date this chick, right? From New York. And she told me what she used to do when she lived there. She told me that because she had like this she had a very nice figure, right? So she told me that it was her job. It was her job to stand outside of clubs to make niggas want to come in. Why? Because the club owner knows that, listen, I want to represent this club. I am going to represent this club, and she is the image. She might not be like the rank and file woman that's in the club, but she but guys don't know that until they go in. You see, guys don't, for all, if they would have kept it like this, for all we knew, all Zimbabwean women look like this. For all we know, this would be the norm, not the exception. But nope, they had to get a fat ass norm waddle up on stage and ruin the whole thing. Fucking black jelly bean bitches. I swear, it just ruins the entire thing. It's like a fly in soup. It just ruined the entire meal. The entire meal of beautiful. Look at the one in the black. Ooh, look at the one in the blue. Like, look at it. It's ruined.
Yeah, you know, those events, they do give off the perception, like let's just say it rather is, you know, Zimbabwe or Norway or whatever the hell it is, when they do their, you know, their pageant or whatever, and they show all the women, it don't matter what country it is. It could be Sweden. Your mind instantly, if you ain't never been to Sweden, but if you see the Sweden women that they present in that pageant, your mind is going to be like, yeah, the women there are that beautiful.
Exactly. When you close your eyes and you think of a Swedish girl, when you think of a Swedish girl, you close your eyes, you think of somebody who's 6'2", blonde, big titties, and she's holding two big ass pints of beer that's foaming at the top. And she's wearing like a white blouse with a blue dress at the bottom, and is slightly coming off her big ass titties. That is exactly what you see when you close your eyes and you think of a Swedish woman. And when I close my eyes prior to that fat ass bitch walking on stage, I seen something different. Look at it. Okay, so look, I look at the audience.
I was just about to say they were scanning that. Damn it! Hold on, let me get. I'm trying to get it paused on that audience. Did I fucked up? There we go. They scan that audience. It's like, you know, I don't know, that audience ain't hitting like the on stage. It ain't hitting like the stage.
No, but that is a decent. I look at the one in the red there where your mouse was, and the one in the pink, and that is decent. That's a decent, you know, average. That's a decent mean, you know. However, you know, but they didn't show that. They didn't have one of these chicks present the crown. Nope, they had the fattest bitch they could find.
Yeah.
No. She looks like the mother of all the other pageant chicks. Like, so I'm just saying countries need to better represent themselves. That's what I'm saying. For example, right? Years ago, the Olympics was at China. It was at China, and hit the damn like button. Hit the button. Hit the button. What's wrong? How come y'all not hitting the button? Hit the like button.
That was a little aggressive, but all right.
No, because they do that crap on my channel. Like, hit the button.
You made me have to go check to see if I hit the like button. Like, goddamn.
Man.
I don't even know. I don't know. You fucking
China.
Okay.
So years ago, I'll never forget this. And I used to think that Chinese were assholes for this, right? But in the Olympics, like early 2000s or something, and there was like a 9-year-old girl who they deemed ugly. So they had her lip sync for a better looking 9-year-old. Now back then, I was like, damn, Chinese is some assholes, and they might be on some pedo shit, right? But then I stopped and examined. I was like, you know something? They are representing a nation. They are representing a nation, and they don't want to be seen as a nation full of a billion ugly ass kids. So, and it's nothing wrong with that. They grabbed their little nuts and they said, you know something? We're going to put our feet down and represent this country in the best way possible.
Yeah. No, that's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. And he's telling a 9-year-old, like, hey, you're not cute like that. So be it.
But you have a beautiful voice, and we're gonna use the one thing that you got going for yourself. We're gonna use your voice.
Face for voiceovers. That's what they said. You know, name the Chinese Lizzo. Name the Chinese Lizzo.
Right.
And see, when I went to China, I noticed that everybody looked like the thing that they did. Like, everybody looked like the thing that they did. Like, you know how you expect stewardess to look a certain way, but they don't in America? But there they do. You expect stewardess to be tall, slim, B cup, you know, and always like smiling cheek to cheek with red lipstick. They all were doing that, Bernard. And they have a hat on. They all were doing that. But America, no, it's no uniformity. I seen a fat ass bitch at California Family Fitness with a uniform on. She worked there. What kind of crap is that? What kind of crap is that, Bernard? Which is why I go to 24. You can't. Why are you gonna represent your product? Like, say you have a person that's missing the front tooth, right? I'm talking about the top front tooth, the one that the brush first hits, right? Say a person is missing that. Would you have that person work at your dental office? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. That person is ill qualified to work at a dental office, because basically you're saying that this is the dentistry that can't fix this nigga, that don't fix their own employees. So yeah, you don't do that.
Oh shit, that's fucking funny.
No, I mean, that's like, you know, why would you have somebody who can't, you know, that's the first tooth the brush hit. Like, so why would you have like that person? And why would you have this fat chick on the stage giving crowns to more beautiful women? Why you get to touch the crown? It got all kind of foo-foo grease on it and stuff like that. Why do you get to touch the crown?
Oh man, you about killed me on that one. All right, here's the deal. I was trying to, while you was talking, I was attempting to pull something up, and I think I got it just about, even though I may have just fucked it up. Let's all right. So let me ask you this. Let me get this together real quick. All right. Have you seen this shit right here? With this messed up chick, Krishan Rock.
No,
Have you seen
no,
this
I don't
shit?
know who she is.
Okay, yeah, she's one of
If
them
I had to guess,
rappers.
it's Chris Rock's daughter.
No, no. No, she's you know, in a public ratchet ass relationship with rapper Blueface. All right. She be fighting all the time. She be, you know, getting
The chick that's
into
missing teeth. So yeah, she's the one I was
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, she's the
Perfect
one I was
segue.
thinking about when I was like missing teeth. You wouldn't have her at the dental office. Yeah.
Perfect segue with the missing teeth.
Yeah.
All right, so she did this shit. I mean, so long story short, this ratchet, trifling, ghetto ass chick had a baby. That's the gist of what happened. She had a baby with Blueface. They like the modern day. They like, as far as I'm concerned, they worse than Bobby and Whitney, Ike and Tina. They the modern day version of all that shit. They had a goddamn baby, and the baby 2 weeks old, and this ratchet ass, trifling ass chick got caught walking around like this. Hold on, let me
What the hell?
Yeah, you saw that right. The baby fighting for his life, got a crook in his back. Like this is, you know, this like the every day is like Survivor for that baby messing around with this chick. She gonna kill this damn baby. That's just that. Now, the title of the video here is Black Women Will Make Excuses for Anything, because there's comments to this video where they are, as you know, as the title suggests, making excuses for anything. So I gathered some of these, and that what the thing that I gathered ain't the right one. Shit, give me a second. Give me a second. All right. Here we go. Now I got it. So we got to look at some of these damn excuses. All right. It's a mistake, dang. Just like every baby gonna roll off the bed at least. Every baby gonna roll off the bed at least once. Ain't no time. Ain't no first time mom perfect.
Let's address that right quick. Babies should not be in the bed. They should be in a, what's that, a carriage or a cradle?
It's either a bassinet or a crib.
Yeah, crib.
Or
that's
perhaps even a playpen when they're, you know, a little older.
Yeah, but no, she said baby. We're talking baby. The fact that, listen, I am a grown man. So like if I roll over in the middle of the night, like I have a tendency to do, the baby could die. It could die. She said baby.
That's a possibility. But
put it in the crib. And not only so she's advocating for drop babies. This chick has, what's that? Christian.
Oh yeah, her name is Cashapp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's dropping babies. And when she do, she say, "Oh yeah, you know,
every baby gonna get dropped a little bit. I mean, I got dropped on my head.
Hasn't dropped a baby before. Like nobody. Years ago, I was on the bus, right? And I was sitting on the left side of the on the right side of the bus if you were facing it, if you're walking in, right? So the other side was the one facing the street, and it was a dude, and he had a baby. I seen it, but he pulled up and he was taking the baby out the carriage. Now I didn't see what happened, but apparently maybe the baby was dropped or something. But the whole bus, the whole half of the bus that was next to the window that seen it, the look on their face was like it's the most horrific thing you could ever see. Like, why? Because that's not commonplace. And he was on the bus crying because he couldn't have money to get to the thing, to get ambulance and stuff. So he's on the bus taking the baby to the hospital while he's suffering from drop. And that is twisted. Dropping a baby is the worst thing, fortunately, that I've never seen. You know, I've never seen that.
Well, see, here's the thing. It could be a mistake, that an otherwise responsible person can some way somehow make. But the reason, and I'm gonna keep coming back to this, everything about her life was fucked up prior to the baby. And there was a lot of comments saying, well, this baby is going to change her, is going to make her be more responsible, is going to make her unlock, powers and things that she never knew she had, and this and that. And I'm like, no, there's fucked up people. And when those fucked up people keep fucking and then get pregnant, they be fucked up parents. So it's no coincidence that the chick who, there's a viral video every other month of her fighting her boyfriend, fighting other random chicks, doing all kind of ignorant, crazy ass shit out there with one damn tooth in her mouth. It's no mystery or no surprise that, yeah, she the one that walking around got the baby, looking like he on fucking Fear Factor or some shit. Like that, it's not that much of a surprise that it's her. Let me go to the next comment. All right, she said, "Is aggravating to." I know I got it. I can't talk today. It's aggravating to see. Yes, but this is a 23-year-old girl. Now I hate when they do that because she's only 23. It's like, okay, how old do they got to be before they not considered too young to be stupid? Like that age that they keep moving all the way up to damn near 80. Like what the hell?
No,
but
anyway, and why do they say like only 23? Like, I mean, grandma had like 5 kids by 23, all of them raised right. Like, what did I say that? That's how, like, when do modern women become like adult? Well, apparently never, because 43 is the new 23, right? So, which means that if it's okay to drop babies at 23, then it's okay to do it at 43. They stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, she goes on to say 23-year-old girl that has never had any responsibility, and she's literally saying, I don't know what I'm doing. I do need help that I am receiving, and if I'm doing wrong, please correct me. Y'all listening with your eyes and not your ears. Not excusing her irresponsibility, but listen to what she's saying. Nah, that's not okay. Not buying that.
Well, the problem with what she's saying, the problem with that is that we're telling her right now, this is social media's way of telling you, don't hold your damn baby like that. So for them to say, why don't y'all just tell her instead? It's exactly what we are doing. That right now we are telling that first of all, you shouldn't have to be told that way. You shouldn't have to be you shouldn't have to be told at all. Like, some things you should just know, that that's the wrong way to hold a baby. This reminds me of that Michael Jackson thing. Some things is just stupid.
Yeah. So instead of bashing the girl, offer some damn help. Yeah, Aggie. Now, right there, her problem isn't that the girl isn't getting offered help, is that she's being criticized for what she did. Like that's all that is. That's the deflection from that's basically the just shut up argument. What are you doing? What's the solution? That's what that is. That's a roundabout just shut up argument.
Well, shout out to Charlie Murphy, because when they whipped Rick James' legs for putting mud on Eddie Murphy's couch, and Eddie Murphy was like, hey, let's get him some help. And Charlie Murphy was like, we did just help him. Like, we are just helping the baby.
Says, honestly, and this is somebody who, just looking at the picture, I don't know. I don't know. Never mind. All right. I says, honestly, she has the carrier that's a 6-in-1. It comes that way. She probably doesn't know you can unattach it so it doesn't lean forward. She just need help. Okay. Here's the deal. Now, listen, and I'm somebody who's had young kids and have put them in carriers.
You ever drop any?
No.
Okay.
I've had kids. I put them in carriers, and when you don't know what you're doing with the carrier, you have to figure that out before you get mobile. you got to clamp it in and then pull it and tug it and make sure it's there. Like everybody generally knows that. It's not a matter of, oh, well, she just need help, but she just not. No, everything about her life dictated that this is the kind of mom she will be. Like, there's another video of her in the loud ass studio, because Blueface, he's a rapper. She's in a loud ass studio with loud ass the music. Just the baby gonna be deaf and brain dead after she drop it. It's like, everything around this situation is fucked up.
Well, okay, so okay, I don't have any kids. And I'm not going to pretend to understand this transformer technologies that they use, from crib to carriage to playpen. It's all be like one device and stuff. I don't get it yet. I mean, I'm smart enough to learn it, but I don't get it yet. So she does have a point there. But you see, here's another point.
No, not really though. But I mean, go ahead.
No, I'm saying for me, you're experienced dad. I'm not. I don't know. Like, oh, you push this button and I was helping a woman in the hospital, old woman in the hospital, and I didn't know how one of those 4-prong walkers work because I am a erect, non-crippled person. So they have like all kind of buttons and stuff to fold it. Anyway, here's my point. I see Chinamen and women and African men and women. They walk around with a cloth and they have their baby on a thing like a backpack. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like it's just like a regular cloth that they wrap around the baby, and the baby is just on them like a backpack, looking like it's having the time of their life. And this is just regular cheap cloth. So even without all of the contraptions, you can still hold the baby right. And they grow up to be Chinese smart. So because they don't get dropped, like the other chick said, So yeah, it can be done. You don't need all that. If you don't understand the instructions, then you just get the cloth and do what the Chinamen and African men do.
Yeah. All right. Mothering doesn't come with a handbook. We all have made mistakes as mothers. I hate when they keep going that route with it because yes, parents make mistakes. That happens. But everything about this chick's life showed that she was not mentally healthy, well-adjusted human. Well, I don't know about the mentally something wrong with her, but she's clearly just not well-adjusted and socialized into the normal social norms of society. Like everything about her dictates to the point to where you could project that she's going to be a trifling ass, irresponsible mama. We've seen them videos of chicks fighting with a baby on their hip. Like that's going to be her. Mm-hmm. I guarantee that video is going to happen. So that's why this shit happening already can't be written off as just, well, everyone makes mistakes. It doesn't come with a handbook. That's what you say when you end up in a situation where, something completely unexpected happened as the kid is getting older and they're growing and it's a new, you get thrown a curveball and you don't know exactly what to do. That stuff don't apply for the basics of making sure you don't kill the damn baby. But all right, we all have made mistakes. We all have no room to down or belittle another mother, especially a new one. And she absolutely right for recording as what is that, ASL, her doing she need to help make her aware of the baby not being in the right position. All right, let's see. I think it's one more of these. People need to find a place between grace and minding your own business. Oh dang, this is a dude. What is crazy is that even like they will defend anything to the point to where even when it's a matter of either public safety or the safety of a defenseless baby, they will tell you mind your business before you criticize a black woman. That's what they fucking tell you. Mind your business.
Yeah, it's wrong to speak, and that's why I said that's why I coined the phrase. You can't speak against a sacred cow. Like I coined that years ago, and it's for that reason. You cannot speak against black. It's part of the scrolls. Don't speak against the sisterhood or the sisters in it. They're never going to do that.
Yeah. Other part where black women making excuses for anything. Shout out to Sir Tice. I see you in there. Hopefully I didn't miss nobody else's super chat. I didn't exactly have the screen up, but I don't know if you saw the Kurt Franklin documentary.
I did not.
Content on that. It was actually real good. Where he met his he's 53. He met his biological father. He was told that somebody was his father that wasn't his father, and the guy that he thought was his father wasn't. Didn't give too much of a shit. The man died. He went his whole life kind of hating the man, and he was an orphan anyway already because mama didn't want him. So he just had abandonment issues. Mama didn't want him. The daddy that he thought was his daddy didn't want him, but the mama was lying the whole time for whatever reason. And through some chance, happenstance, coincidences, I don't feel like explaining because it's in the documentary and I put it in the video. He did end up meeting the guy at 50. He's 53, and the dad had to be close to 70. They finally met. The mom was like, that DNA test I took ain't real. Then she went down there with him, and they took another one, and she still denied it. And she cried, and when she was just pissed, she was just mad. She was damn. I can't even clear my throat. It's like she was mad that whatever was broken inside of him was going to heal. Like she was mad about that. Like she cried. Like she was pissed off, and still denied the two test or whatever. This is a small clip from it, and he's been striking everybody down for playing this shit. So hopefully,
well, don't play it. Don't play it. Just the gist of it is fine. I don't want you to struck down. But no, I get what you're saying. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about false paternity and stuff is that I need organs, and that's part of the reason why I want to have kids. Might need some fresh organs in the future, and by doing crap like this, you won't find out till it's too late that it's incompatible.
Yeah. So you're trying to have some organs.
I mean, and I know a dude, a white dude that went through that, found out he was all kind of like Jewish and crap. Like I'm not saying that is crap. It's just that he wasn't even the ethnic makeup that he thought he was. He thought he was just like an Irish white boy. So, and I seen it break him. He was like maybe like 28 at the time. It just broke him. Like, in fact, I stopped talking to him after that because you know how like when something happens, like somebody's parents die, and you just give them time to grieve. You don't go, hey, what's up, man? You want to go out and hit the spots? You don't just do that when a person is going through their own personal stuff. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna give him time, I'm gonna give him space, but I never got back around to it. He just went into like this whole depressed state. Paternity fraud is a terrible thing because not only is the father not the father, the whole family, his whole half of the family, the cousins that you played with, the aunt and uncle, the wedding that you went to, come to find out years later that they're not your people.
Yeah. Well, the sisterhood, in response to this whole little debacle with the mom and everything, she's saying more than likely he raped her and she doesn't want to deal with the trauma. That's the excuse that she's making for this woman lying for all that time. Keep in mind, this is a woman that gave him up, but once a year she would like see him. And he said that, he said normally orphans, they can kind of heal from it, but when your mom is ducking in and out your life, it is like every time she leaves, when he would see her once or twice a year, it's like he said the wound, it would just like the scab would get peeled back off, and he can never really just fully heal because he was in a fucked up situation. It wasn't like he was adopted by a loving family. He was in a fucked up situation growing up, and he knew that it was, so he thought two biological parents didn't want him or whatever. But anyway, so I mean, the woman, the mother's a piece of shit because even when she saw him rekindling and hugging it out with the dad, like she said a crazy ass quote that didn't make sense after the dad left. She had started crying and she said, "I always wanted this and I still can't have you." It was like some weird evil villain shit that didn't make sense. It was, but I interpreted that as she was crying because she saw that he was getting over it and healing, so to speak. And like, you know, and the only thing she had over him is the fact that that brokenness, and that she was the source of it, but she never really, you know, tried to love him. But when she saw him healing from it, and then finding, you know, whatever love or whatever he found in that connection of meeting his biological father, is like that broke her heart. Like she was pissed. Like, how dare you get over the hurt that I caused you? It's like that, like the shit was fucked up. Like it was a deep documentary. But anyway, this chick here is saying, let me start at super chat from Sertai. The chick here is saying more than likely he raped her. Now this guy was a great guy, the guy who was actually his dad. Saying he said more than likely he raped her. And he was there with a wife that, you know, looked happy and, you know, looked younger than him actually too, but not that much younger, but, you know, probably 15 years. They, you know, if he was close to 70, she didn't look 70. He looked like he was late 60s. She looked like she was probably, you know, 50 or so, or something like that. But you know, or in her 50s. But anyway, he said more than likely he raped her, and she doesn't want to deal with the trauma. That's the excuse that they making for Kurt Franklin's mom behaving the way that she did, and walked away after 2 positive DNA tests, still denying it to this day. They saying that they just gonna call this man a rapist. It's this one right here is saying, let me see if I can make that to where I can see it better.
It's sad that that's a default. That grape is a default.
That
you know, and that they'll throw it out there. You know, that it's a scare tactic. They want to make it seem like it's prevalent, it's common, so much so that, you know, that they're having these great babies all the time. But no, I mean, the possibility of a bad black woman don't exist to black women, and that's because they want to preserve their right to be bad women. They want to preserve their right to do anything they want without public scrutiny. So every time you scrutinize, they scrutinize you for scrutinizing them. You know,
yeah.
Or they look for a justification, like, you know, she probably was raped, and she wasn't.
Right. All right. It says, so as women and mothers, no one feels like it's a reason she denying it. Come on, y'all. For one, we grown. Why is you putting your mama business out on TV like that? But you was mad when your son let us see the devil come out of you. He's talking about a recording that her son did, like a lot of celebrity parents do. They'll record their parents being parents in an intense moment, and then out them and you know, and out their parent for, you know, for you know, whatever he said in
for
that
dropping
intense
babies.
moment. For what?
For dropping babies.
No, not for dropping. Right. You see that good connection. They applying pressure on Kurt Franklin because the son released some audio of him cussing out his son or something like that. But they make excuses for Krishan Rock and all her fuckery. You know, it's postpartum. But anyway, something not right about Big Kirk, and I feel like it's a reason the mom the mom trying to keep that man away. What if he What if he raped her, or what if she found out Wow. I haven't seen these. Somebody sent me these quotes. I haven't seen these. So I didn't know that it was grape and pedo being thrown out there on this man.
Well, scroll, please.
Hold on. Here we go. Like, God damn.
So I want to take special close examination to the first 4 rules, and you'll see why you're getting the pushback that you're getting. So the scrolls from the sisterhood, and, you know, check my channel for, you know, how I've come to understand the sisterhood. Rule number 1, don't speak against the sisterhood or the sisters in it. So you're not going to get sisterhood women actually holding this woman accountable, or either of these women accountable. Now, rule number 2 is very, very important. Rule number 2 is also don't speak against the sisterhood or the sisters in it. Rule number 1 and 2 cannot be broken under any circumstances, no matter how many babies get dropped. Now, rule number 3. All the success of the Black community is due to the Black woman. Meaning that if that dropped baby grows up to win the Nobel Prize, it's because of her somehow.
But if it grow up with brain damage, it's because of the dad not being there.
Well, and that brings me to rule number 4. All of the failures of the Black community is due to white supremacy or Black men, depending on the circumstances. So these 4 rules, Bernard, is the results that we're seeing is the natural outcome of following these 4 rules. If you can't speak against the sisterhood and all of the success of the Black community is the Black women, then this failure, which is, this woman's situation, is somehow the Black man's fault or white supremacy's fault. That's essentially what's going on here. Now, Kirk Franklin, I think he's a musician, right?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's a gospel artist. You know who Kirk Franklin is.
Yeah,
Kirk Franklin. He got some. Yeah, he got some great music. Even like non-religious folks like myself will put on some Kirk Franklin and jam out to it. Like Kirk Franklin is music. He make great music. But real quick, we got to take a brief intermission because we have got to shout out a few people. Shout out to Sir Tice. He says that's what you say when they're trying to rationalize their BS choices. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that one. One moment. Thank you for putting 5 on it. All right. Also, special shout out to Deacon Salty Balls in the building. Says this scroll is blasphemy. I'm disgusted. Yes, Game Changer. Yeah, how did you acquire these scrolls? That the Sisterhood scrolls, Game Changer? I forgot.
In 2005, I had to infiltrate the sisterhood by pretending to be a simp for several years in order to get in the presence of the scrolls. And I have the originals here. And it took me a while. I had to do some AI, and I had to do this before, Chat GPT and stuff like that. Because here's the thing: the original copies of the scrolls were written by newly emancipated, free slave Black women who were sparsely literate. Basically, the day after slavery, they implemented this scroll policy to keep Black men away from white women. Also, there weren't an abundance of Black men available because so many died in the war itself. So Black women came up with this scroll as a method of control. And it was passed down from mother to daughter to mother to daughter. Now, fortunately for my lineage, a little boy, I think it was like 1880, overheard talks of the scrolls in one of their meetings. And he remembered the existence of it. And he passed that memory down from father to son, from father to son, from father to son, from father to son to me. And then I knew of the existence of the scrolls, but I didn't know the scrolls themselves. I didn't see it. So I had to infiltrate, pretend to be a simp, mother, queen, God, all that stuff for a few years, before I actually got into the vicinity. And they said my final test, my final initiation to get into the sisterhood was to impregnate some fat ass bitch, Bernard. Like that was my final test. And I was about to do it, but then I realized that, I got a big ass dick and I ain't got to put up with this shit. So essentially at that point, what I did was I just walked up and snatched a scroll, and they came at me, and I was like, it was like, what you gonna do? I'm lean and fit with a high IQ and a big ass dick. The fuck y'all gonna do? Ain't no woman badder than me. Motherfuck you and every bitch I see. And then I walked out with the scrolls, and they have been looking for me ever since, Bernard. And
well, that's why you stay behind the avatar.
And that's why I stay behind the avatar. Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly, because they've been trying to track me down ever since.
They didn't have like nothing set up, like no contraptions. Like when you tried to leave the sisterhood temple, it Indiana Jones, didn't no ball come rolling after you or nothing like that. You just walked out.
No, it wasn't a temple or anything like that. I know that's theatrics, but no, what happened was this was actually in an apartment building, in a rec room of an apartment building. And okay, so you know how some apartment buildings have like little gyms inside of it with treadmills and stuff? The sisterhood don't use that shit. So instead of for that, they have their sisterhood meetings inside of one of those.
Ah, okay.
You know,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But no, we got it. We got the gist of how you acquired the Sisterhood Scrolls. But shout out to Deacon Salty Balls for dropping $2.
These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
And another resounding special thanks and shout out to Salty Balls who put where's it at? Put $100 on the Cashapp.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140.
That's $100.
Suck on my chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth. Put them in your mouth and suck them and suck them.
All right. Now the intermission to salute the sponsors of the show and hear the story of how Game Changer acquired the Sisterhood Scrolls. We had to do that. But all right, here we go. Another person in response to the Kirk Franklin documentary, another female says, "I'm confused. You know who your daddy is, but you're mad at your mama because she don't want to believe it's him." That is a very peculiar way to try to deflect away from the gravity of the situation. It was a moment in the documentary where he when the lady called him and gave him the results after he paced back and forth, came back to the phone. It's like you could just hear so much hurt in his voice when he was like, "My mama lied to me again." It's like he had moments where he was just just almost like the little kid came out of him.
Right.
The little kid that the mama said that she was coming. They depicted normally daddies do that. Say, "Yeah, I'm coming to pick you up," and the kid sitting there and looking out the window, and it done got dark, and he done fell asleep. Basically that's the hurt that came out of him when he's like, "My mama lied to me again." It's like, no, it was the lies. It was the high probability that she knew it was him, and then 2 fucking DNA tests, and she's still denying the shit. It was bigger than it's bigger than all of that. Then hey, your mama just don't believe it. Like, no, fuck that. Like, no, she was a piece of shit. But that's the length that they are going to deflect away from the nonsense of all of this is through the roof. But anyway, so another person says, "So is he a pastor or a praise singer? I thought church people forgive and don't judge." What?
So basically, by this logic, you should be able to harm Christians at will and not expect any reprisal, not even moral ones. And I get it, which is why like every fall I like to go to Pennsylvania and slap some Amish around, because that's what you do. You find out that somebody may be passive and you fuck with them as much as possible. Like, that is the mentality. That is the sickness that is these women.
Yeah. It's fucked up. Code 10, the enemy's here. Take the chains off the doors.
Well, no, because I mentioned the scrolls. And here they come trying to find out like how much did I decrypt, because I haven't decrypted all of the scrolls, like all of the information on it, because some of it is written by half literate imbeciles. So I haven't really deciphered it all yet, and they're coming for that. They're trying to figure out how much information I have. The moment the scroll, that's when the sisterhood comes, Bernard. I'm telling you, they have been, what is it, like 18 years. 18 years They have been trying to hunt me down to find, because I got the originals. Bernard, I got the originals.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been trying to hunt me down for them ever since.
Yeah, well, she hot on your trail.
No, she not. That's why I have the avatar.
All right. Let's see what else. What else we got in here? What else? I think no, that ain't the last one. Let's see. We got some more bullshit and excuses. Wow, people got to realize your parents. She meant were, but I'm not gonna criticize somebody. I make mistakes too. When it comes to little shit like that. You said not gonna criticize. Hold on. Oh shit. Okay. Wow, people got to realize your parents were once young too and made bad decisions. Give them a break. It's one thing for the parent to make a bad decision. One thing for the parent to be damn near 70 and still standing in the shit and holding the line for the shit. To give them a break and love on them while they still here. Talk to them and let your parents tell their story without being so judgmental. But when one parent is deliberately trying to block you from hearing or even knowing of the existence of another parent, let you think she let this man think that a man died and that was his dad, and so your daddy dead. I'm all you got, and I'm miserable. You can't, it's like I just
now, did the guy that raised him knew that he wasn't the father?
No, well, the guy didn't raise him. That just the guy that was the parent that the parentage was just pinned on. And that guy didn't, I don't know if that guy actually knew or didn't know. I mean, he got to think he was given up for an adoption. He was an orphan, but he did end up meeting his biological mom, and he asked who was his daddy, and she gave him, she pinned it on a dude that wouldn't shit, and he thought that guy that wouldn't shit and was his dad, and he talked to him before, but they didn't have a relationship. But then the guy he thought was his dad died, so he hated this man that wasn't there, and then this man died. So he just, the man went to, he just been walking around with just disdain for somebody who abandoned him that didn't, but the person who actually was his dad didn't know.
Damn it! All right, so you know what this means. This is worse than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
She could have said anybody. Mm-hmm. I mean, she could have said anybody. See, he came and said, "Who's my daddy?" She could have said Apollo Creed. Like, she could have said that your daddy was the most spectacular person in the world. Your daddy was, I got ran through from Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Muhammad Ali all in the same night. One of them is your daddy. She could have said that, but nope. She had to go the niggas ain't shit route. She had to. She could have said that your daddy was, Muhammad Luther X. However, she decided to do this bullshit. You see how fucked up this is, Bernard?
Yeah.
You see how fucked up this is. You see, and this goes back to the scrolls, because she wants to perpetuate this ain't shit nigga stereotype. They want to keep this ain't shit nigga stereotype going. And you want to know why they want to keep this ain't shit nigga stereotype going? Because it makes sons want to be the opposite of what their father was. Now, the opposite of what their father was is a guy who is, loyal to a fault and extremely beholding to these black queens. That's what it is. So you have to compensate for the sins of the father. Like, well, my father wasn't shit, so I want to be a better man than my father, which means is you're going to be a better sucker. They're going to set you up for something worse. Your natural biological father was a good man that put his penis in a bad woman that didn't know that you existed. How dare her? This is awful, Bernard. This is like Tupac's mom. This is awful. These are awful people. Yeah. These are awful people. And it extends and it dates back to the scrolls.
Yeah. Yep. All right, but this is the last one. Says, did he ever think maybe something traumatic happened to her and she doesn't want to deal with it emotionally?
Which is the same thing. That's the same thing as he raped her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They are making excuses for them.
Mm-hmm. The excuses are in overabundance. The excuses are in overabundance. That is wild. That is wild. What else I got on the? I gotta find that Joe Clark clip for when every time she duck. Actually, I found it. I just gotta clip it
Well,
right.
let me show you something. Let me show you. Scroll me, please.
Oh wait, hold on. Wait, real quick. Quiet Storm in the building says support black male media. Absolutely do appreciate you coming through. Dropping $10 on it. Where is it at? Shit. I can't find my shit. Where is it at? Shout out to you. Do appreciate it.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want.
Appreciate you. All right. What you got down there? Let's see.
So this goes back to why she did it. Why she did what she did, as far as the pinning the conception of Kirk Franklin on an ain't shit nigga, some mystery ain't shit nigga, and that is because they have to follow this particular scroll. Damage the image and reputation of black men and boys whenever possible. She's seen an opportunity to do that, and she took it.
Yeah. It's just it's hard to what's hard is wrapping your mind around the denial, and it's just like why it's two DNA tests from a man who you clearly was having sex with around the time that your son, in a 9-month proximity of when your son was born, to utterly deny it. I only interpret that as she knows something is broken in him and she don't want it to be made whole. She don't want to see him get over it. Like, that's why I said in my pre-record, like, no matter what he do, no matter what he accomplished, no matter how much he how many accomplishments he have. He said in the documentary that he's the number one, gospel artist selling person, or most Grammys, or most he's the shit. All right. No matter what he accomplished, she knows and sees him as that broken orphan boy who's missing something, and that is what she got over him. And by him, connecting with his father and getting closure and getting, and actually meeting somebody responsible for his, conception, that actually, is a genuinely good, decent person, what that's going to, do for him, how that's going to give him closure in his life. Or the one thing that he, that through all his success, the one thing that he couldn't accomplish on his own is that feeling of emptiness, of just how he grew up as an orphan, not having his mother or his father in his life. And the mother would just duck in and then duck right out. And I think he met the dad a few times, but other than that, life was horrible growing up. He said told some horrible stories, eating out the trash, like fucked up shit. She said something is always going to be missing in him. That void is always going to be there in him, but I hold that void over him because I was the one who caused that. And separating him, making sure that he don't find out who his biological father is, that could potentially close that could potentially heal that wound. I don't want to see it healed. I want to always have that over him. And I think that's why she cried like
because she lost that power.
Yes, she lost the power over him. That's what she was like, a villain with terrible motivations, that crying actual tears because they're not able to cause any more hurt and destruction anymore. Her plan was spoiled, and she broke down crying about it, and just walked off denying that man was his dad, and Kurt Franklin literally told her, like, look, you got to give me this. Just acknowledge this. It's 2 DNA tests. Just acknowledge it, and just so we can move forward. And she just was like, no, just not going to accept it. Then she said that crazy ass statement, I've always wanted this, and I still can't have you. It's like that. None of it made sense. Like it was like
it makes sense when you understand the sisterhood, Bernard. I mean, by have you, she means that, by having your uninterrupted loyalty. Take a look at this scroll. I think this is scroll number 9. Maneuver to assure Black men and boys have no alliances other than Black women.
Wow.
So now what does that mean in this case? Essentially what it means is that if she would have introduced him to his natural father, he would have an alliance other than her. So yeah, it's very important that they maneuver this way. See, keep in mind that it's all written. They don't stray too far from the scrolls. That's why their behavior is so transparent and predictable once you read and understand the scrolls. Kind of like a Christians, who completely is devout to the Bible. You understand their behavior because it's related to, this is their Bible. So yeah, she is going to assure that this young Black man have no other alliances than her. Once he does, then then she lost him. She lost him because she knows that if given an option of allies, of family connection, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, he would opt to not choose her. And she don't. Yeah. She is the last choice of companionship, and family connection because she's an awful human being.
Yeah, but the way she treated him is that she want him choosing her. She want him longing for a relationship with her, but she's refusing. But she always refused to give it to him. Like that was even that's what was even more sinister about it. Like she like damn, it's like that documentary was deep, man. Mm-hmm. It's I think it's a fuller version of it, but it's a 30-minute version of it on Kurt Franklin channel. I recommend everybody check that out because it was a deep and interesting watch how that all just played out and came together. And it was coincidence that he had it all recorded that perfectly because he had cameras following around with him because he got his next album coming out next month on I think the 6th. So he was recording the making of his album as a lot of people do, so they can make like a documentary for the album release or whatever, just to promote it a little more. And then all this shit started happening with his dad, so it was like they kept the cameras rolling and recorded it all, and it was like they ended up with perfect footage. I can't front or lie on that. They ended up with some perfect damn footage for this documentary, just following that shit around. But it sort of came together, more or less by chance. And so yeah, it was deep. It was deep. Now
Jackie says that he stopped talking to her for 23 years. What's that about?
Yeah, well, no, it was I think they did have a moment where he stopped talking to her for like a long period because I could keep in mind he said he would see her once or twice a year, and it would all when he was a kid, and that would go on, and he would try to have a relationship with her, but she just wouldn't. She just I mean he described it as she just don't know how to love. Like she was just, and so he just had. So in that sense, he let it go, but it still bothered him. It still fucked with him. Mm-hmm. But he had quit dealing with her at all. And then when the news came back around that he was about to potentially meet his biological dad, or just when the rumors was going around, she wanted to call him to get out in front of it and say the rumors are not true. And so she was trying to be preemptive to try to stop the rumors from happening. But the biological dad, he just was like, look, all these rumors going around, look, because he had told somebody that, I used to date his Deborah or whatever her name was. He said, like, I used to date Deborah. And he was like, well, you know what? You are short and you got the same nose and you might be Kurt Franklin's daddy. Everybody know he's an orphan. Shit, let's check it out. But once everybody started talking about it, it became a big thing. He was like, "Fuck it." He went on and swabbed his shit on a cotton on a Q-tip or whatever, and put it in a little capsule and just gave it to one of the relatives that he had, ran into at a funeral. That's where everybody started talking. So he just gave it to her and be like, look, I'm not pressing it, but look, I'll hand this to you. You can give it to Kurt. If he want to pursue it, he can pursue it. And then he pursued it, and then that's when he found out. And then but time before that, the mom tried to get in front of it and say, hey, these rumors ain't true, blah 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 blah. And then he after he found out that it was true, when he got the DNA test, he went and met with the dad, and they talked and hugged and everything and blah blah blah. Then when he met with the mom for the first time, she was like, hell no, we won't go. I'm denying this shit. It ain't accurate. I don't know where the results came from. Then he got everybody to get together and show up and get the test done, on the same site at the same time and everything. And he got a second DNA test, and then she still like the box, still would not acknowledge that this man was Kurt Franklin's father. So the only way I can make sense of that is that she don't want him to heal from whatever trauma she caused him.
Exactly. That trauma is exactly that trauma is her control over him.
Yes.
Like she basically she's dishing it out like Scooby snacks. Now, which one is it? Daphne or Selma? Which one is the bitch? Which one is the one with the glasses? Thelma or Daphne?
No, Velma is the one with the glasses that was unattractive on the cartoon, but very attractive when girls dress up like her for Halloween. I kind of like that. But but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, so Thelma, like
no, Velma.
Yeah, that's Thelma, right?
No, Velma. The other one is Velma with Velma a V, and then Daphne with a D. Yeah.
Okay. See, she has the power to give Scooby-Doo like all the snacks. But she just parcels it out to that nigga to keep him doing dangerous shit. She's just like, would you do it for one Scooby snack? Would you do it for two Scooby snacks? She just does that shit. She be pulling out whole boxes of snacks out her pussy. And she just like out of nowhere, she'll pull out a whole box of snacks and get this nigga a few. And that is her control over him and Shaggy. That is her control over Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, to parcel out the snacks, to get them, to keep them under control. And that's what she's doing. She's parceling out motherhoods to attempt to control him, but, now that he found his father, he got a whole Scooby snack factory and he don't have to deal with this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You see, because Jackie was like, he cut her off for 23 years. You see, people who search for their long lost parents don't do it just to cut them off. They do it because they're seeking a connection, and it's only in the case that they ain't shit that they cut them off. What's that movie name? Denzel Washington,
Antoine Fisher.
Yeah, exactly. He went a searching and found out that his biological mom wasn't shit, and the woman that raised him was a pedo ain't shit fat bitch. But then he found out that he had a regular family to cling to. See, if he didn't have that regular extended family to cling to, then he probably would still be trying to, make a connection with the unworthy bitch.
Yeah. Speaking of unworthy bitches, no, just playing. Well, we probably can put her in this category, but I don't know. This is a chick that said she was, married. She got a PhD and graduated from marriage. Tia Mowry is making a lot of posting a lot of memes on TikTok now about what it's like dating, and she doing it in the name of humor, but it's something there. There's a there that's going on, and as we closing in on the 2-hour mark, we've got like 15 more minutes. We'll examine this case study of the chick that was seemingly happily married with children, gave no reason, and perhaps maybe she don't got to tell all the business, but she couldn't even vaguely imply something that this man did wrong. She just was basically just on some my inner, she just used a lot of womanese bitch babble Shout out to Jap and I think Donovan Shark came with womanese. He's used a lot of random code talk to explain it, and then now she's she's single and she posting shit like this that y'all can't hear because the audio ain't on.
It got worse. It got worse.
Oh.
It got worse. But I feel like it's about to get worse. It got worse.
All right, she posting a bunch of shit like this. Says when anyone asks me about my dating life. Now, what she commented right there is love bombing, gaslighting, and emotional unavailability. Oh my, kidding but not kidding. She's talking about her current dating life being, I believe the sister twins are 40. Let me see how old is. Damn, they that old?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You knew right at the top. They must have been your little crushes for a little while, huh?
No, they never were. They never
okay.
were. And which really says something about their sexuality, in the sense that it was always something about them that never really did it for me, and it should, because they are light-skinned. They were reasonably cute, and they didn't have like a ratchet demeanor, but they just didn't do it for me throughout the course of my life, like Rudy Huxtable, Tatiana Ali, and Lisa Turtle, but it was something. They were never on the list of women that did it for me. Even Essence Atkins, who look who look a lot like them. These chicks just never did it for me.
All right. Shout out to Salty Balls in the building. He says, news headline this week: Hurricane Lee pounds Florida. Meanwhile, Lovely says, I knew that Lee wasn't shit. It's all his motherfucking fault. He a dog anyway for pounding. Now I'll get what he's saying. He a dog anyway for pounding Florida. I bet you he after Georgia too.
That's cold.
I did. I pre-read that one and didn't know where the fuck he was going. But that's funny. That's funny. That one throw me off. Salty Balls throw me off sometimes with his wit in those super chats. It do throw me off sometimes. But yeah.
Well, I think he's an interesting person to talk to, because it's not lost through text. Like if you actually had the conversation with him, he'd be a funny guy.
Yeah.
No. I'm not saying that the text isn't funny. I'm just saying like it'll be better hit. It'll hit better.
Yeah, no. Salty Balls be killing it. Shout out, salute. All right, but anyway, this 45-year-old woman out on the dating market had a successful career. She, I'm assuming got money. I'm assuming she rich, got a net worth somewhere in the millions. And I believe this is what I believe for people like her, people who have been stars their whole life and now they single and they back out there dating and they 45. This is what I think. Because she want to mess with somebody in the industry who's just as successful as she is. I think what she's running into is people that are probably, around our age. I'm 41. I think you 44-ish or something like that.
I'm closer in that age,
yeah. Somewhere in that realm. So I mean, we grew up watching her, but like, if we was, famous, rich, and in her circle, we probably would think like, what, you said they weren't really your particular thing, but it would probably still rank as somewhat of a notch on the belt for some dudes in her, circle where they, celebrities, and they probably thought, I always wanted to fuck T or one of the sister twins. I always wanted to fuck. I predict that's what she's getting out there on the market. People in her, celebrity circle, success circle, that ain't really trying to fuck with her for real, but they always wanted to fuck one of the sister twins. So what the hell? And I think that's what she's getting, and that's what she's talking about: gaslighting, emotional unavailability, and all of that. No, you just for the type of man you want, you just a notch, just so they can say I fucked one of the sister twins. And that's why she's struggling out here in the dating market and should have stayed with her damn husband. Just my analysis of that.
So you're talking about the Nick Cannon principle and the Ashton Kutcher principle, where You know, you have
or the
young men,
Dwayne Wade, or the Dwayne Wade
Wade. Yeah,
principle.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And these are younger people who grew up fantasizing about these particular actresses, or what have you. And, you know, once they become wealthy, successful, and famous in their own right, you know, they look at it as an opportunity to fulfill their fantasy. I can tell you, as a man in her age group, that she's not it. And I'm not talking about just for myself. And she don't really live far from me. If I had to guess, because I know she lives in the valley, I would have to say she's like 150 miles away from me, you know. But I don't give a shit because she's not and never been like a fantasy. Somebody mentioned Cree Summers in the thing. Yes, she's more of a fantasy, even though she's an older woman and extraordinarily not that attractive. I would still like to say I smashed Cree Summers. I would still like to say that I smashed Lisa Bonet. I would still like to say that I smashed Hillary Banks. Like, these are older women. These are older women that, yes, I would like to put as a notch on my belt, but she, just to fulfill the younger me, just to fulfill young 12-year-old game changer. But she's not it. Like, and even at that age, even, you know, when we were both very young, nobody ever fantasized about the sister chicks. They just didn't. It's just something about them. Yeah, Tatiana Ali. You know, like, there's just something about the sister chicks that just didn't really like tickle puberty for guys, and still don't. And she's trying to tickle it now with her thirst traps and stuff, but no, you just look foolish. So she don't have that appeal. Oh, so she don't have that appeal going for her. You know, she probably thought she did. She don't. You know, but she should have just stuck with her husband. Point blank, period. And yeah, she wants to she actually wants to be single. She doesn't have any problem finding a decent man. You know, there are a lot of well-to-do guys out there who are also single fathers, you know, who are also in the age category as her and myself, but far more successful, who would be willing to get with her versus the other 45-year-old bitches that are in his mating pool. You know, I mean, she is better than any bitch from Mississippi walking around with kids trying to find some nigga. You know, so she is a better catch than that. And if guys are marrying that, then guys are going to marry this. She understands that. You know, however, she wants the attention that comes with single motherhood. She wants, and if you could scroll me, please.
Hold on. There we go.
So this right here, the Black single career mother is at the top of the sisterhood social hierarchy. So she did this in order to be at the top. Before, she was in the middle, I guess, as a married, you know, wife mother. But she wanted to graduate to the Black single career mother to be at the top of her of the sisterhood hierarchy. So now that she's at the top, she wants to get as much attention for being at the top as possible. So what is she doing? She's complaining about the dating and mating market. Make no mistake, even though she has never been like, you know, fantasy material at any stage in her life, you know, even though that is the case, she still can find a decent dude that has more money than her to marry her. And this isn't because she's a decent human being or she's just that hot. It's because the market right now is trash.
All right. What else? What the fuck? Oh, you dropped that down. That scared me. I didn't know what the hell just happened to my shit. But all right. All right.
Carlton Banks said married women are at the bottom of the hierarchy. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. Let me do this again so y'all can understand the hierarchy. So yes, they are below prostitutes because at least prostitutes are independent on the sisterhood hierarchy. No, I'm speaking facts. You know, married women are looked at as free prostitutes. So to the sisterhood. And they do make the market more difficult for women who are trying to actually be hoes. So yes, it is. Bernard, could you scroll me, please?
Hold up, give me one moment. Oh, there we go.
Okay. So and that goes to the next scroll after that, where it says the submissive black woman is the mortal enemy of the sisterhood. So you are right, Carlton Banks. They are the absolute bottom of the hierarchy. They are the mortal enemies of the hierarchy. They will always lash out against such women. And that's because, they give men focus on what they should be looking for, not what's available to them. It's unfortunate but true. But yeah, so she has no problem doing that. She just wants the attention of being single because she's that stupid. She thinks that 45 is the new 25. But ask a 25-year-old bitch, does she feel 45? Or ask her, does she want to be 45? They will say no because they're actually 25. See, and okay, so in an hour and 15 minutes, I'm gonna do a show on this, and it's entitled come to my channel. It's entitled "Only Virgins Can Demand Traditionalism." You see, there shouldn't be a hoe phase. There shouldn't be a hoe phase. There shouldn't be a street. There shouldn't be this whole party girl phase where they just go out slutting and smutting it up and shit like that. And then that shouldn't exist. But it does. And society wants it to exist because it drives consumerism on both the men and the women. So they want it to exist, but they want to pretend like it didn't happen. Like after all that Sukihana shit, after all that sexy red shit, they want to just go back and pretend like it didn't happen and have some guy treat them regular. But no, you're not regular. And you can't say you deserve traditional stuff when you're an untraditional bitch. But I'm gonna do a show on that because it goes deeper into that. It does. There's a deep psychology behind that she's trying to tap into. Why? Because society is advertising this hot girl summer type, single life, thing. They're advertising it to her so much that she divorced the life that she should have been in. And she thought that this single bitch life is an improvement. It's not an improvement. It's not you have not improved in life being a 45-year-old bitch taking tequila shots, taking body shots off of your stretch marks and shit. You have not improved in life.
God damn. I don't know if I've heard you give any commentary at all. You probably did. I must have missed it, but what's your thoughts on the whole Jeezy Jenny Mai situation? She was looking like the patriot saint, the darling of SYSBM. She, a very feminine presenting Asian woman who who just to devote her, talk about how much she love and submit to a black man who they basically, even though he's successful, he amounts to a damn pookie. She's that's something there. Those were some optics, like but 2 years in, he out. It's something to say there, but I really don't even know what to say because it's all speculation. Even though a little bit of stuff is getting breadcrumbed out there, but what's your thoughts on that?
Well, okay, so generations of non-accountability and not speaking against the sisterhood or the sisters in it. The first two scrolls. Generations of that has created a culture of Black women that are completely transparent. They don't try to hide their low value. Like what's her name? The chick with the teeth,
no
Rock.
Teeth. Krishan Rock, yeah,
Krishan Rock. She's not trying to hide it. She's just like, I'm going to do this. The mother, they're basically overt with it. They don't see a need to be covert because they come from a community and society that's not holding them accountable. Now, unfortunately for Black men, we are used to dealing with overtly trash women. We are not used to covertly trash women. We aren't used to the sneak attack. And that's why years ago I talked about level 2 black female fuckery, and this is Asian female fuckery, but you get the point. There's levels to it, levels to it. We're used to the covert. We're used to the overt. We're not used to the covert, So yeah, she can be covert. Even if you find, a somewhat like pick me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you still have to go through a long-term vetting process, because Keisha will tell your ass that she's ratchet the moment you see her waistline. She will tell you that she's an unworthy bitch the moment she lift her dress. There was one Keisha type woman that said, I'm fat and I still got a husband. That's because she understands that that black men are conditioned to deal with overtly poor trash quality. She understands that, but the ones who don't want that, we're not prepared collectively. We're not prepared to deal with covertly trash women. And that's the thing. He needed to vet her. Now, the problem that he had was the vetting process should take years. And I was just talking about this on Sweet Melody Speaks channel. The vetting process should take years, but they don't have years because she's so fucking old. And he wants kids. So he's like, listen, this bitch got 3 eggs left. She seems decent. If I want a kid, now's the time to nut in her. And he did. She was too damn old. Yeah, she was too damn old. Point blank. Period. So he did it in a rush. This is a fool's rush in situation. Because I said it too, but doesn't mean I'd marry her instantly. You have to go to a vet. You have to go through a vetting process that will take you past childbearing years. It is. It's going to take you past childbearing years. And what's her name? And Jackie Jack, you getting there. Nice titties, but you getting there. You are getting to the Jenny Ma age, so you gotta lock a dude down because I'm gonna tell them that they have to vet your ass, and they're gonna have to vet you until you're at the precipice of not being able to have kids.
All right, I'm in the back trying to get my that damn clip.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. Like, America is a place where the culture here is appeals to the ratchet nature that's in all bitches, and that's to keep them spending. Okay, here. Okay, understand this. I'm back. All right, understand this. Is that America is a consumer nation, and they want 2 things. They want both men and women to be a hybrid. They want a strange creature that earns like a man but spends like a woman. I repeat, that earns like a man and spends like a woman. That is why they encourage masculinity in women and femininity in men. They tell men to go out and dress like bitches. Why in the hell else they tell men to go out and buy $900 pumps when dudes is okay with 3-year-old sneakers and shit? I'm talking about like Dwayne Wade's son and shit. They encourage niggas to do that. Why? Because it drives spending. They already sold the $900 pumps to every bitch that can afford them in America, so they started selling it to men. They want you to earn like a man and spend like a woman. That's why they encourage these women to be like these high focus career bitches with Chanel, with a closet full of Chanel, like all the Sex and City bitches. That is what they are encouraging. And they have been doing it for so long. So Jenny Ma has released herself from Asian traditionalism, which is modesty. And I told you about the Chinamen and China women that walk around carrying their kids in a cloth. She's past that shit. She got the Gucci strollers and stuff like that. They instill that. America corrupts people. I've seen it so many times. I used to have Mexican neighbors on both sides, right? Mexican neighbors on both sides. And the one, if I'm facing my door to the left, was here for 3 generations. And the ones on the right was here for 1. They just got here. And the ones that was here for 3 generations was fucked up. There was American style fucked up, and that's what happens. The family value degrades over time. You know, people come here. America is where family values go to die.
I see. But Jimmy Jones in the building says black women are the least protected from their own dumb decisions and stupid choices. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate that. Do appreciate you dropping 5 on it.
They're the most protected.
Yeah, well, he put air quotes when he said most unprotected. He put quotes on there. So, but I think his goal in that was to imply that they are
that they're asking for protection against their own actions. You know, which is a foolish thing to do. You wind up like Ayana's cousin that way. You know, like Ayala's cousin. Yeah, you don't do that.
I got you. All right, Jimmy James back in here. He says what is that? Baphomet? I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means?
I don't
know what that means.
I know a lot of words, but I don't know that one. I mean, so it's either an English word I haven't heard yet or another language.
Yes. Well, you got about 30 seconds to type in the chat room. What the hell does that mean? Because I'm about to wrap this thing on up. But as I get ready to wrap it on up, do got to give special thanks. Shout out to Machismo TV.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
All right. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody quick enough with the trigger, put the link to Machismo TV in the chat room. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we about to get up out of here. Thank you everybody for supporting the stream. Shout out to each and every one. Shout out and salute to each and every one of you. Thank you. Shout out to Game Changer coming up here. Never a dull moment when Game Changer is letting off those rants. Make sure y'all go swing by his channel. You said in about an hour. You going on about an hour?
Yeah, 1:30 PST.
All right. Yeah, make sure y'all go over there in PST 1:30. That's just
4:30 your time. Or no, not your time, but that's 4:30 East Coast.
Yeah, I'm East Coast.
Oh, Michigan's.
I'm Eastern Standard Time, so
okay.
So yeah, that's 4:30. I'll never be used to that. Anybody say 4:30 PST, I just like they just from another planet, and I don't even care what they're talking about.
You never travel.
Okay. When I went to Vegas, I had to be consciously aware of that. I never had to be consciously aware of time zones until I started doing this YouTube shit, and then I've done interviews with freaking passport bros who are in other countries while during the interview, and we botched the time every time when they try to tell me so 10 a.m. EST, okay, yeah, that's about that's 9 p.m. my time, blah 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 blah. We think we know the time, and then no, we don't.
You gotta travel more, Bernard. I say start with Zimbabwe. You start with Zimbabwe and then report back if the bitches are actually fat. Like you gotta travel.
Yeah. Shout out to the white Zimbabwe princess who just won, who became Miss Zimbabwe. I just found out about this, but shout out to Miss Zimbabwe, blonde hair, blue eyed white girl. Yeah, we're gonna end the show on that note. But all right. We out of here. Peace. We gone.
Peace.